John Pollock here with you post-fight at UFC 175, and we spoke to this man at Media Day on a Thursday morning, and here we are, a late Saturday night. The common denominator, coffee. Matt, Serra.
Yeah, I just found the pot, man. It was, if it's for free, it's for me, that type of thing.
Free coffee.
It's an organic hazelnut or something. What's up, man?
Well, not too much, obviously, for you.
Night,
fantastic
Oh,
night.
my God.
Let's start, obviously, with Chris's performance tonight. Tell us a bit about just your immediate impressions on what, especially those last two rounds, which were just, to me, incredible rounds, a fantastic fight. Was this kind of the fight you guys envisioned when you were putting this game plan together?
Well, I mean, so much credit has to be, well, first of all, for Chris, because he's just a murderer in there. He's just determined is not the word, man. He doesn't believe in he's not losing. There's, when he says he refuses to lose, he means it. But also to Ray Longo, because the counter striking, I mean, even looking at some of those elbows, if you look at Machida's face, I mean, Machida lost in the past, but usually, anybody can get caught. Jones got his neck, Shogun caught him with an overhand, I believe it was. But I don't think anybody's done this to him for 5 rounds. I mean, he won 4 out of those 5 rounds. And and I'll tell you, man, I mean, you're remembered for your wars. And the stuff with Anderson, people would always say this, they'd always say that. With the first fight, with the second fight, there's nothing you could say. I mean, he's only going to grow from this. He showed he has an iron chin. He showed that he's versatile. Look at his striking. That took place. There was some takedowns in there, but what the damage was done on his feet. I mean, Chris beat him on his feet, and that's really a huge credit to Ray Longo in training him, man. The guy's never sparred before a day in his life, and Ray, and obviously he's the guy in there staying in the midst of the fighter, biting down on his mouthpiece and making it happen. But that combination is very scary, and I mean I'm ecstatic. A couple heart attack moments with in the last round, but man, Chris, I mean the best is after that last he got him up against the cage, tried to blitz Chris.
Chris just says, "Come on!"
And then afterwards, he waved him on, man. Oh my God, Chris I'm sure he won a lot of fans tonight, a lot of new fans.
Do you think that this, obviously, the historic nature of the Anderson-Silva fights are obviously always going to be linked to him, but as you mentioned, tonight was really that just definitive 25-minute battle that I think it's just going to be growing that much more upon things? I
mean, again, Machida is one of the craftiest guys in the game, not even in the weight class, in the whole game. He moves, and also Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was one of the main training partners, sparring partners for Chris, and he also deserves a lot of credit because he's got that karate background. He's a great sparring partner, and he's lighter than Machida, so he's really quick, and he's got that in and out. He was mimicking him to a T. So it was it's really great the way things came together.
Just before we wrap up here, Chris did mention during the post-fight press conference that this was maybe the worst camp of his life. What were some of the problems? He mentioned a hand injury and also really pushing it after he had both of his knees scoped.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, you'd have to ask him, but
you didn't sense it really day-to-day with him?
We like to keep it positive. He got his work in.
Right.
But, you'd have to, it's not like he wasn't getting training sessions in, but with certain camps, I mean, like you just said, the knees, I know his left hand was out of commission. He wasn't even hitting pads in the back. He was just, doing some shadow boxing, and Longo was having kicking the pads and doing some knees and elbows and whatnot. But so I mean, he was kind of one-handed when it came to the striking. Not that you'd notice. And but again, there's always going to be certain things you got to work around, and maybe that's what he was. Maybe that's what he meant by it. But again, you have to ask him to elaborate. But hey, man, I'm just really right now. I just feel like I'm crashing because, man, that was a whirlwind of a fight. The corner, wow. Because as excited as everybody else is, when you're in that corner, you're just at the edge of your seat, like, wow, you know what I mean? Like because the first 3 rounds, smooth sailing. I don't think he got touched. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If he did, it was nothing. But then the 4th round was a little bumpy. Lost that round, and we knew at that point that Machida was desperate. If he didn't get a finish, he's not winning, and we knew that. And just Chris, Chris shined, man. Chris got tested, and he came through with flying colors. He's only going to get better from this, Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, it was a terrific performance from Chris.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Awesome.